Hey YouTube, welcome to Pagan Perspective. I am your host, Sabir, and this is Wednesday. Hi YouTube, welcome to Pagan Perspective. I am Sabir, and today we are talking about an interesting topic. We are talking about will. So the question asker had a very long question for us. Sort of went into why they were asking the question and what they were really trying to get at it. And what I took away from it was this idea of what is will in magic? What do we talk about will? How do we view will? What is this power known as will or intention when it comes to magic? And really, is it all down to will? I mean, really, is it just this law of attraction that we're using in magic, or is there something else going on? So I think that for me, the best way for me to describe it is basically the way that I look at it in my own faith, my own practice, because I really can't speak for anybody else. I can tell you what I think other pagans that I know have told me about intention. I know that it's a big deal in the pagan community. Intention is what it's all about for many people. For me, however, when I look at will, what I am talking about is a web. And let me explain this a little bit more. So, a web of interconnected energy that connects the entire world, universe, everywhere. Anything that is anything, this web of energy connects it, almost like little threads. And when performing magic, you're pulling on little threads. You are enacting your will. You are actively taking those threads and moving them in a direction that you wish them to go. You are, in a way, manipulating that universal web of energy that surrounds everyone. And if you know the right ways, the right rituals, the right things to say, then you can pull at certain strings and certain threads, and you can manipulate that web to a point. That's my own personal faith about it. That's my religion. We believe that we have that power, and that if you are of our faith, it's a hereditary faith, then you have the secrets to be able to pull on certain threads and know how to pull on certain threads. What's really important is the way that you go about it. I think that that's something that I feel is important when it comes to will, that it's not about just, I want it so bad and I'm going to shoot it like lightning from fingertips, like the poster said. I'll post the long question in the down bar below. It talked about lightning from fingertips and you will do what I say and I will bend the universe to my will. And I don't see it like that. I see it as small, little tiny changes that you can do, small manipulations you can do to create a larger effect. And I also see it as being something that you need to do certain things in order to even have access to that web. I don't believe that we just have access to this network of energy web just sitting in front of me right now. I can just pull a thread. I don't believe that. I believe that there needs to be a certain pattern, a certain order, a certain sequence to be able to access it. It's not visible to the naked eye. It's something that needs to be taught, needs to be learned, and there's ways to access it. So that's my personal belief on will and intention. Now, when it comes to will, that's how I believe. Intention, I feel like, has a little bit of a slightly different connotation. I think that's important to note here. Intention oftentimes gets lumped in with will, and it does seem to fit for the most part. However, intention is one of those things that I think gets you what I call unexpected magic. And that is when you are pouring your own life essence, your own energy from yourself into whatever you are doing. So it's not sheer willpower, it's more of a giving nature. You're actually sacrificing part of your energy to what you are doing. And the primary form in which I use this is food magic. So if I am cooking, I will pour intention into what I'm cooking, particularly when I'm cooking for somebody I care about. I'm going to pour all of my love and attention and good wishes and positive energy. I'm going to pour that all into what I'm cooking, so when they eat that, they are taking in part of my energy. They're, in essence, I'm sacrificing up part of my energy for them, but it's in a positive way, and so it doesn't affect me negatively. So when I think of intention, I think of it in that respect, in that we are giving of ourselves and putting that purpose into what we are doing. Where will, I see more as our will of what we want to happen. We are putting forth that energy of saying, this is how I will it to be, so it will happen. That energy is very focused and directed, and then needs to be pulled very specifically on certain things. I don't believe, I know that some other pagans do, and it works for them, and that's awesome. That's their faith. It's just not mine. I don't believe you can go into ritual or go into any spell that you're doing and purely just say, I will it to be, and it happens. I don't believe that. That's not the way that my faith works. That is the way that some other people's faiths work, and that's great. Again, this is totally just my opinion, and other people it works different ways for as well. For me, I am all about following a certain guideline that was set out for me and using that as my foundation, as my tool. That doesn't mean I can't build off of it and learn new ways and find new things to go with it, go with my own faith. But there's a foundation there. There's a certain bottom layer that's laid and a certain formula. It's sort of like in recipes. You know, if you understand that there's certain things that need to go together in order for a recipe to work. And within that base formula, you could add a bunch of stuff. I mean, for example, a sugar cookie, right? You have a base sugar cookie recipe. You can throw a ton of stuff into that sugar cookie. You know, throw in, peanut butter cups, throw in M&Ms, throw in chocolate chips, throw in, anything you want. Raisins. I mean, you could throw in a lot of different options and still get a good result, even though you're changing that base recipe. However, the base is still the same. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about will in my faith, is that I have a base recipe for when I do ritual and when I do spells. My will then gets enacted as my extra layer that I put in. So I have my foundation, I know which threads I can pull, and my will is sort of like the chocolate chips, right? Or the peanut butter cups. I'm going to throw in my will and move those threads in maybe slightly new ways to what I need them to do at the time. So that's how I feel about it. Hopefully that answers your question. If you have any follow-up sort of things, always ask in the down bar below. I try to get back to people, but again, I can only get back to so many. And I am filming on a new camera, so we shall see. I had a wonderful, amazing friend help me out and give me a camera to use. Sold me a camera, really did me a total solid, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. You know who you are. And hopefully I'll be able to film in some neat, cool, different locations from now on. So that's about it. It is crazy snowing outside, and we are having another dump of snow in the Northeast. Okay, when I talk about snow, I just want you to be able to see what I'm really talking about. So here's a little bit of New England snow. Welcome to New England, people. This is what we mean when we talk about snow. And that's my poor little car way over in the snow. And it is coming down. It is crazy here. And really cold. I don't know why people are out on the roads. At least that was a plow person. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's already so cold and so snowy. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so it's cold and it's snowing, and I'm gonna go back inside. So thanks guys, and as always, blessed be.